Alright, so it was day 3 of our little trip, and the guys were a bit tired of targeting non-edible fish, and we decided to go up into the reefs north of Richards Bay and go look for a few edible fish. Once again, the guys from the Cape haven't caught a lot of the species like stumpnose, speckled snapper, catfish rockcod, yellow-belly rockcod. So I decided to take them to an area where I know there's quite a few of those species, and they can experience fishing for those species in the Zululand waters. Well, the area we were fishing in, there's quite a lot of different structures you're looking for. Some areas you'd have a long flat ledge. You'd actually walk onto the ledge and you throw into deeper water with scatter brick in the back, and you spot cast onto that scatter brick. And then certain areas we fished, we just look for solid reef at the back, big black patches of reef, and target your species in between the reef.
Decent little catfish rockcod. Previous throw I lost a good one, so a bit of a consolation prize.
When you're fishing for edibles in a crowd like we were, things happen quite quickly. And when those fish come on the bite, you got to move quickly. It is casting in, getting a bite, hooking a fish, and you want to pull it out as fast as possible, put a lot of pressure on the fish as well. So it's quite a quick session, a lot of casts, a lot of baits, a lot of movement, and it was a nice action-packed little session of fishing. Well, we're at Cape Vital this morning, doing a bit of edible fishing. Starting very slow, we're battling for bites, getting a few small ones. That's the species we want, catfish rockcod, but small. We know you're big ones and we're going to carry on fishing for them. Well, there's certain species like your rockcod species, your speckled snapper and some of your other snapper species that likes to go straight into the reef when you hook it. So when you're targeting those species, it is actually quite an aggressive way of fishing. As soon as you get the bite, you start walking back, put as much pressure on that fish you can, keep him off the reef, try and lift him up into the deeper water zone and force him over the rocks so he can't go down into a hole and get stuck and either cut you off or you might lose your fish.
I've got a double up here on choker and red eye. And yeah, here you go. Lovely fight. Awesome.
A nice little yellow belly.
What did you get, mate?
Chocolate head and some red eye cutlets.
Well, it's always nice to see a lot of different species on the reef. It's always a sign of a nice healthy reef when you're catching a whole big variety of species. And the area we fished, the water was beautiful, the reefs were nice and healthy, and we caught a lot of different species, which made all of us very happy. Alright, so one of the species I actually promised the guys and said to them there's a very, very good chance they might catch is a Natal stumpnose. Now the Natal stumpnose is one of those strong fighters. It's a fish that you're specifically targeting with specific baits in specific areas. So myself and Gerard worked a specific area looking specifically for a stumpy, and it was very rewarding to see him actually get the fish, get a nice 3.5 4 kilo fish. When we knew we targeted that species, he did everything right, put the bait in the right area, put the right bait on, and he landed this beautiful species. Well, a stumpy is renowned for his strength. It's not the type of species that would take you into the reef. He's quite a clean fighter. He comes up to the surface a little bit or semi-surface, but he's a very hard fighter, and especially when he comes to the edge here in this white water where there's a lot of current and rips, he'll use every little bit of current to his advantage. So it's a strong fish and a very exciting species to land.
Oh, I've got a nice stumpy here. I just walked down a little bit from the rest of the guys there, and there's a nice little bit of structure here just over the lip, and I didn't wait long. Quite strong for its size. I've got a nice chocker bait with I had a few red-eye cutlets around it just for a bit of smell. Take a look at it.
Well, I'm sure Gerard was very happy to tick that box, landing another new species, and especially a nice big one like that made his day. Well, a speckled snapper is most probably one of the most beautiful fish we can catch. It's full of colors, especially when they just come out the water. It flashes all different colors, red, orange, blue. It's a solid fish. It's a very strong fighting fish, and for any fisherman, that should be a target species on their list. It's a species that we commonly find up in Zululand. It's quite isolated. We don't find them all over South Africa. So for me, it's a fish species that you can actually target only in Zululand coast.
That's good. Nice pickled snapper.
AJ has landed a very nice pickled snapper. It's one of our local Zululand species, and I'm sure he's very happy to catch one.
It's not something they find down in the Cape. Reef fish, they love eating crayfish, prawn, crab, those type of baits. We like to catch them on meaty baits as well, and it's a very, very strong fish. Nice hard fighter, and most probably one of the most beautiful fish in the sea here. So well done, AJ. Lovely fish.
But after we had our little edible session, we walked past an area which looked very good for non-edible fish. So Gerard made a comment that he wants to make one more throw and look for a honeycomb or sandy. We waited for him, he made a cast and he hooked into a nice fish.
First throw in the afternoon session. Rudolph picked us a nice spot here, nice rolling bank. Just a bit of an all-round bait. A red eye on a nylon trace, and seems like I've got a video on here. Rudolph reckons it's a sand shark, we'll see. He's usually wrong. I got a nice little male sandy. Gave us a good go here on the reef. It was surprisingly strong. That was the first throw, so things are looking up for this evening session. I'm quite stoked.
Well, that sandy of Gerard's was just a nice way of ending off a very good day's fishing. Everyone got fish, everybody was happy.